Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'll do a sort of two-part section. I'll start off with the conservation area, the Keighley Road conservation area. So comments have been made about the process followed, but this process was signed off by the exec at the earlier deferral. This is our second deferral, of course. The process of wider consultation with appropriate championing by co-councillors, who actually aren't entitled to a vote on the exec anyway, was all okayed by the planning manager. Are the members now saying there's something wrong with that wholly democratic consultative process? Are members aware that there was no malfunction of the Pendle Council online form during the second consultation? The issue of the first one about Facebook links, but this one worked perfectly. And as is standard with all such consultations online, the form times out if the user is inactive for over 10 minutes. This would be so for all such consultations. At the meeting of the exec and in the draft minutes, we heard and learned that the Peter Birdsall Trust claimed to own 47 out of 95 properties on Keighley Road. This is the principal road in the proposed designated area. However, these figures aren't true, even if the 95 is said to relate to the trust portfolio rather than all the houses on Keighley Road. There are around 150 properties in the designated portion of Keighley Road and around 250 in the whole conservation area. You see on the big map there how much it goes north and south of Keighley Road. And if you look at the trust itself, it actually owns only 23 properties inside the proposed area. 5 flats in that lovely building just on the south side of the road, and 18 bungalows in Birdsall Fold. The 24 properties that make up the 47 number that was quoted are on Peter Birdsall Close, and are therefore not in the conservation area. But given the exec believed the trust owned 50% of the properties on the road at that time, would it have behaved differently if it had really thought through and realised that the correct figure was less than 10%? Moving on to the Pride in Place Impact Fund. Looking at the scoring, you know I like numbers for these things, so Pendle did develop the scoring mechanism, and the question was asked on that earlier. But the way the questions were put together, by realising that the insistence that a project should be completed and paid for within the time frame got maximum score of 10. And if you only part went through it, you either got 5 or 0. But that's not what the rule says. And that means that some of the valuable projects the community would have wanted were simply scored out, marked down. And that includes projects from the Code Master Plan. We've mentioned Master Plans before, Code Master Plan, etc. These were meant to be shovel-ready projects to add value to our areas.
Shovel-ready.
What point do you get for having a master plan that fits in with these projects? You get 1 point out of 60. So it's not really recognising the value and effort that went into the master plans. We wanted to see in Cowan, for example, we wanted the transformation of Newmarket Street into an event space, continuing blues and other music and drinking events throughout the whole year, in fact. We wanted the installation of a planned wheel park, been part of the council's capital budget for many years, and he was just heading toward the Valley application. We were filled in a lovely gap on North Valley Road there. And we also wanted the restoration of the cemetery chapel, which had been neglected for so many years. So funerals would be held there once more.
These are supposed to be questions.
And although match funding is welcomed by the prospectus, it is not mandated. Again, big scores were given to people who volunteered large amounts of match funding. So does the leader and the exec feel that by scoring in such a way, the chosen project would have been valuable to the communities, have in fact been sidelined by those where partners are most able and eager to pay? And finally, why, when scoring projects so highly for those with match funding, did Pendle Council's own projects at the market, backfilling on the paving, for example, and finishing off electrical works that should have been done in the first place, even though none of them have match funding?